In our last explainer, we really dug into the qualities of a devoted person as described in chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita. But right after laying all that out, Krishna says something that, well, it can really throw you for a loop, especially as a modern reader. It's a statement that just seems to clash with this whole idea of a fair, impartial universe.
Such a person is dear to me. Wow, that's the line. 4 simple words that pack a serious punch. And for so many people, this is a real sticking point. It sounds so personal, so preferential, and it leads us straight to a huge question.
Exactly. Is this favoritism? Does living a certain way earn you some kind of special treatment from the cosmos? Is God playing favorites? It's a completely fair question, and it's one that chapter 12 answers brilliantly. Just probably not in the way you're expecting. So let's get into it.
All right, the whole key to unlocking this chapter really hangs on one thing. We have to totally redefine the word dear. Because this isn't about a reward system. It's about something else entirely. It's about resonance. And that shift in perspective changes everything.
So on the one hand, you have the common misconception, right, that being dear means you're chosen, you get special privileges, you're loved for being obedient. But the Gita's meaning, it's on a whole other level. It's about being in tune, aligned, almost effortless. Kind of like when 2 musical notes hit a perfect, beautiful harmony.
And that's the core idea right here, resonance. Just think of it like being on the same wavelength as reality itself. A person who gets to this state doesn't need favoritism because their actions are already flowing in harmony with the way things are. There's just no friction.
And this idea of resonance, it builds into something that's almost like a law of physics. This isn't just about belief. It's about the real, practical effect of alignment. It's about what happens when you start removing that friction from your own life.
So what does this aligned person even look like? Well, the Gita gives us a list. We're talking about non-hostility. Because why would you be hostile when you see the same life force in everyone? A deep steadiness, because you're not getting knocked around by every little thing that happens. A genuine humility, from understanding your place in the whole shebang. And this incredible clarity of mind that lets you see things as they really are. When you have these qualities, something amazing happens.
And this is it. This is the big aha moment. The ease they feel in life doesn't come because the world magically bends to their will. Nope. It comes because they stop demanding that the world be something other than what it is. They just stop fighting reality. And by doing that, they end their own suffering.
You see, that's why Krishna's statement has nothing to do with emotion. It's about structure. The big takeaway here is that the Gita is showing us a universe run by principles, not by personality. An aligned person is valued in the same way that nature itself values balance. It's a fundamental law, not some personal whim.
Now, this alignment has a very specific and observable result. It's a quality that Krishna brings up over and over again, and it's all about how this person moves through the world and interacts with everyone else.
Let's just sit with this for a second. The devoted person does not disturb others and is not disturbed by others. I mean, think about how deep that is. This isn't about being a doormat or being invisible. It's about a fundamental state of inner peace that just naturally radiates outward.
So what does that look like day to day? Well, a non-disturbing person isn't the one who always has to force their ego into a conversation. They don't walk into a room needing to extract validation from people just to feel okay. And this is a huge one, when conflict kicks off, they are the ones who bring the temperature down, not the ones pouring gasoline on the fire.
The bottom line is this: their very presence in the world is a net positive. They move through life actively making things a little bit better, reducing suffering in themselves and for others, instead of adding to it. And that is why they are so valuable, so dear to the whole cosmic order.
Okay, I know this can all sound a bit high level, a bit philosophical, but this principle is something we all recognize and value in our own lives every single day. Let's pull this ancient idea right down to earth, into our modern world. Just take a second and really think about it. Who are the people in your life that you truly, deeply trust? The ones you know you can count on, no matter what. The ones whose presence just makes you feel secure. What is it about them?
I'm willing to bet they aren't the loudest people you know, or the most dominant. They're the ones who are steady when everything's hitting the fan. They're fair, not because they're putting on a show, but because that's just who they are. They're calm, but not in a cold, indifferent way. They had this stabilizing effect on everyone around them. So why do we value them so much? Because they are safe to be around. It's that simple. Their own internal alignment creates an external environment of stability and trust.
We call these people dear for the exact same reasons Krishna is talking about, just on a cosmic scale. So let's bring it all home. Chapter 12 has taken us on this incredible journey to understand a totally new kind of dearness, one that has absolutely nothing to do with favoritism and everything to do with alignment. So here's our new decoded definition. In the Gita's context, dear is a description of a state of being. It's someone who is aligned with how things really are, who is non-destructive in their actions, and who is fundamentally trustworthy. It's not a prize for praying the right way. It's a description of who they are. And you've got to remember where this chapter falls in the Gita. It comes right after the massive, mind-bending, cosmic vision of chapter 11. So after showing Arjuna the true, overwhelming nature of reality, Krishna gives him this, a practical, gentle, and correct way to actually live in that reality.
So now that this path of devotion is laid out, the Gita, of course, pivots again. It moves from the heart to the head, and it starts asking, okay, how do we keep this clarity? And that leads us right into chapter 13 and the difference between the field and the knower of the field.
We're going to dig into all of that in our next explainer, as we keep on decoding the incredible wisdom of the Gita. Thanks for joining me.